Delarite, my MVVs, welcome.
Hello, Delarites. Okay, let's go. The palace of the Ooni of Ife is currently in serious turmoil, as report reaching us suggests that the Ooni is still carrying a deep-seated, anger against the Oloris over the issue of Queen Naomi, and he made it very clear by his action during the grand celebration of Oba Elegushi's 15th coronation anniversary. Now, for those who may not, be entirely familiar, Oba Elegushi is one of the most prominent and influential monarchs in Nigeria. He is the Elegushi of Ikotu Kingdom, a relatively young but highly respected king known for his charisma, class, and strong relationship across royal circles. He ascended the throne at a young age, and over the years he has built not only a strong traditional leadership but also friendship and alliances with other kings, among whom are of course the Ooni of Ife. Ooni of Ife stands very tall. The two are not just fellow monarchs, they are close friends, brothers in royalty, and often seen supporting each other's events and celebration. So when Oba Elegushi planned his 15th coronation anniversary, it was no surprise that the Ooni of Ife was specially invited. The event was grand, befitting a king of Elegushi status, a beautiful gathering of royal dignitaries, celebrities, and government officials. Preparations had been ongoing for months, and it was understood within Palace Circle that the Ooni of Ife would be attending alongside a full royal delegation, which was, to include his Oloris, okay? And now his Oloris is supposed to be include, as in it's supposed to include Ebony, Blow Blow, Ikpi, Gospel, and not Oletik, because Oletik is still nursing her kids, and they are two. So most times Ooni of Ife kind of excludes her from some of these, royal obligations, okay? Initially, we heard that the Oloris were reportedly thrilled. They were all informed that they would accompany the Ooni of Ife to Lagos to honor Oba Elegushi. They had already prepared elaborated, of course, outfits, jewelries and accessories for the grand event, but had been, posted privately, among their, friends and families about the prestige outing, okay? They said they had boasted so much that they were going to, finish the occasion and all of that. And you know that Oba Elegushi's wife is actually close to Olori Naomi. She prefers Olori Naomi. She loves Olori Naomi and all of that. Even though they know that they may not necessarily be that, inwardly welcome, but they were going to go because, of course, nobody can say no to the Ooni of Ife. And so they boasted, they were happy and everything. But not knowing that, of course, these things were going to happen, the last couple of weeks, like last week was very hot in the palace, and that was because of the palace, the manipulation of the royal register, and that is something that has bothered the Ooni of Ife so much, and Ooni is not taking it kindly with them. Now, as we are hearing what is going on, report has it that they had prepared themselves, okay, and they were all waiting at the Ibadan airport, okay. You do know that the helicopter that Kabiyesi is using is quite small, okay. It's not an helicopter that can carry a lot of people. So normally, when there are events like this, they carry the royal vehicles with their drivers, and they take them to Ibadan, where they wait for, the flight to pick them to Lagos. But this time around, they were not prepared for what they saw. However, they said things took a shocking and, humiliating turn at the last minute. According to palace insiders, while the Oloris were already dressed and waiting at the Ibadan airport, where the Ooni's Gulfstream G700 private jet was stationed, they were left, standing and waiting endlessly. The Ooni, it turns out, had no intention of taking them along. In fact, sources say he had deliberately kept the information vague, like allowing them to assume they were traveling why he quietly prepared to leave alone. When the Ooni of Ife finally arrived at the airport, he reportedly boarded the jet with only his, tight security. And, before that they say Iya Laja or somebody had already gone to Lagos to wait for the Ooni of Ife. They said he only boarded the jet with his tight security personnel, aides, and a few senior chiefs. He did not even glance in the direction of the waiting Oloris, many of whom were visibly confused, dressed in their finest laces and traditional attire, their faces made up, looking regal but increasingly anxious. Within minutes, the jet, taxied away and, took off, okay? Seriously, leaving the royal wife standing helplessly on a tarmac. It was a sight of utter disgrace, especially considering the status they carry as wife of the Ooni of Ife, the highest, king in all, may I say, about the highest king in Africa. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Delara. I bring you fresh and spicy gist from the sauce is still on the royals. How I guys doing? I appreciate you so much. I love your show. I do well, my people. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell, and do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Happy New Week to you. Velarites, my Delarites, my Delarites, my own people. Velarites, my Delarites, my Delarite, my super people. Eshe o, adupe o, my people. It is not a small something, no. Yes, sir. We heard that some of the Oloris, particularly those who had believed they still had some favor with the Ooni of Ife, reportedly broke down in tears right there and then. They felt humiliated, slighted, and thrown aside like commoners. The palace environment has been tense ever since, with whisper and gossip floating every corner about what exactly triggered such, open disdain from the Ooni of Ife. Sources close to the palace have now revealed that the Ooni's anger, stems from a very specific incident. The removal of Queen Naomi's name from the palace royal register. You know that when it comes to the Ooni of Ife, you do anything, Ooni can forgive you, but when you fight Naomi, the beef is double. And that is how the Ooni of Ife operate all, may I say, that is his modus operandus. Delaram super. It is not a small something you want to carry your fight. Of all people's name is Queen Naomi's name, you go and remove. Okay, now let's see how it goes. They say that is where the wahala is coming from. As a lot of people know, for those who know, they know. For those who have refused to recognize this, well, that is your shoe to wear. As many know, Queen Naomi remains deeply loved and respected by the Ooni, despite all public appearances and whatever narrative people have tried to push outside. The truth inside the palace walls is that Queen Naomi is still regarded by the Ooni of Ife as his, true queen. No matter how many wives have entered the palace after her, none has managed to replace her in the heart of the monarch. It is not even up for debate among those who know him closely, okay? When it was discovered recently that Queen Naomi's name had been quietly erased from, the palace document, protocols, and internal register, a move many believe was orchestrated by certain individuals within the palace who saw Queen Naomi as a threat. The Ooni of Ife was furious. He reportedly summoned those responsible and unleashed a rare and blistering anger upon them, making it clear that Queen Naomi remains his wife in the spiritual, traditional, and royal sense, no matter what outsiders may think. Now, they say that, when the gods want to curse a person, when the gods want to lay a curse on somebody, they'll make that person mad for it. All of this year, Queen Naomi said she wasn't doing again, and it didn't occur to you that for Kabiyesi not to have given her or granted her divorce the way he did with Wurola, it's because the man loves that woman, and you think that just taking away her name from the royal register is going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. You are just going to find a way to shoot yourself in the leg, which is what is going on right about now. They said the Ooni of Ife had made it known that no one had the right to erase Queen Naomi's name, and that he would not tolerate any further attempt to diminish her standing within the palace. This incident has not, been forgotten. In fact, it continues to color many of his decisions, including the recent humiliating incident with the Oloris. The only solo appearance at Oba Elegushi's event was not just a random decision, it was a statement. It was, his way of showing that he is not ready to parade anyone else beside him as Queen Naomi, as Naomi, especially after what was done to Queen Naomi. Instead of being surrounded by women who have, repeatedly disrespected the woman he holds dear, the Ooni chose dignity, simplicity, and loyalty, attending the 15th anniversary as a king, standing firm in his value. Now, at Oba Elegushi's anniversary itself, the Ooni was received with great honor. His presence alleviated the event, and he was seen, smiling warmly along Oba Elegushi. The two exchanged deep greetings, signifying the strength of their bond. Oba Elegushi himself understood the weight of Queen Naomi's place in the Ooni of Ife's heart. Sources say that among their royal brotherhood, it is well known that Naomi is not to be disrespected or forgotten. She is recognized as someone whose destiny and spirit are intertwined with that of the throne and the Ooni of Ife. So anything that has to do with Olori Naomi, Ooni of Ife does not take it kindly, and they say that is the reason why he gave these Oloris this level of humiliation. Omo, the humiliation cover cap, wear and coat, come wear, brown, stockings. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media, should not be seen as fact.